I'm Caitlin, and this is Book Chats. Today's Top 5 Wednesday is Top 5 Friend Groups I'd Like to be Part of. When I saw this, I decided right away that I wanted to choose friend groups that were more than two people. So I think two people is a friendship, and to join that can kind of be like a third wheel situation, whereas a group of three or more is a friend group to me. And so that it's a little easier to sneak my way in, and it fit the definition a little more. There's one exception that I'm making, but you'll see later, and it's totally deserved. The second thing I realized when I was looking at this prompt is that it was actually really difficult for me to find friend groups. Once I decided it had to be not friendships, but friend groups, so three or more people, a lot of the books that I read don't have friend groups. Or that if there's a friend group, it's not prominent enough for me to know enough about it to know whether I want to be part of it. And it was really shocking to me because if I think about my life, like my friendships are one of the closest things and most important things in my life, and not just individual friendships, but I have some distinct friend groups that I'm really glad to be part of and that in my childhood and now as an adult I really enjoy. So I realized that the fiction I read doesn't reflect my reality. I don't know what that means about me, but it definitely made me reflect. Given all those things, I did find 5 friend groups that I wanted to talk about, and I also had an honorable mention, which I'll mention at the end. So first, number 5 is Toru Honda, Arisa Uotani, and Saki Hanajima from Fruits Basket. I hope I said all those names right. These 3 girls are really great. Fruits Basket is a manga and also an anime. I've read about half of the manga and I have watched the entire anime. What I like about these girls, there's 2 distinct friend groups that Toru Honda, the main character, is part of in the series, but what I like about this particular friend group is that they've been together for a while, they really support each other like family, and they've been through a lot of things, and they really support Toru through all of those things, even though they don't necessarily get the benefits or like aren't central to them. So it's kind of like, I will be here for you if you need me, but when you need to do your own thing, you can too, which is really cool. So the friend group number 4 is the one that I made an exception for, and it's also the only friend group from a nonfiction book, which means, like, yes, this is a real-life friendship. It is Tina Fey and Amy Poehler from Bossy Pants, Tina Fey's memoir. I love the ways they support each other. I think they're hilarious and amazing, and of course I would want to be friends with them. Come on. Group number 3 is actually a little blast from the past. I had my little sister brainstorm with me when I was like, I don't know any friend groups, what's going on? And this is one that she suggested, and I was like, you are totally right. It is Ethan, Noah, Nadia, and Julian from E.L. Konigsberg's The View from Saturday. What I love about them is that they are just very different. They have very different backgrounds, but they still come together as friends, and they kind of bridge those gaps and seek to understand each other. I also realized, like, looking at them again, that they could totally use another girl in their friend group. So I am perfect for that. You might have to, I'm going to pretend that I'm the same age as them or that they have aged up and they're still friends and I can be friends with them because it's a little weird at my age being friends with a bunch of 6th graders. So friend group number 2 is one that I really love. It's Cami, Liz, Beck, and Macy from Ali Carter's Gallagher Girl series. So the premise of the Gallagher Girl series is that they are in a school for spies, for female spies. It's like a fake finishing school where, like, oh, young ladies go to get finished, but they really get trained to be spies. The first book starts where Cammy, the main character, goes into town and kind of meets this boy, and he's like a normal boy from town. He doesn't know that she's secretly training to be a spy, and she like thinks she kind of likes him, and she doesn't know anything about boys because you can know everything you need to know about spying and still not know how boys work because they're weird and understandable. And so it's her friends all pull together and they use their spy skills to try to figure out what is going on with this guy. And then as the series progresses, I love the way that the series progresses because it starts out so fluffy and lighthearted, and then it gets progressively more and more serious, and the stakes get higher and higher. And through all of that, these friends really continue to bond together, and they really support each other, and they use each of their skills, which are different. Like, there's only one of the girls who actually knows anything about boys, Macy, and she's so great. And I love how they go to consult her to be like, I don't understand men, what is happening? Because I see that in my own friendships. I love that they go seek that from Macy, and Liz and Beck and Cammy all have special skills too, and they just really use those skills to support each other, and they use them to support each other both in really serious life and death situations and in situations that seem less serious but are, you know, still an important part of their lives. The number 1 friend group is the one that I immediately thought of when I heard this challenge, and that's Gansey, Blue, Noah, Adam, and Ronan from Maggie Stiefvater's Raven Cycle. So these 4 boys and 1 girl, Blue is the girl, are just a great group of friends. They are all very interesting people. When I'm reading these books, I want to be there to hug Adam, who just needs a hug. He's like the saddest character. I just want to cry on his behalf all the time. And then Noah, who is delightfully honest in some wonderful ways. Ronan, who has some anger issues, but is working those out and relies on his friends when he needs to and also protects his friends when he needs to. And then Gansey is one of those people, I don't know if you've ever met them, I've known at least 2 of them in real life, but these people who just have this crazy charisma about them that is very magnetic. They have a magnetism, and Gansey has that, and he uses it not to like manipulate people or to be in control, but in like a very honest way, which I find really interesting. And then Blue, who I love to pieces. Blue, who is this strong female character who's still vulnerable, who is doing what she wants to do, but also does listen to the warnings from her elders. She like listens and then evaluates whether or not she's willing to take that risk, and she is just tough as nails in all the right ways, and she doesn't take crap from anybody, even from the boys. And I love that about her, and I love how strong she is, like how self-assured she is, and how strong she is in knowledge of herself, which I think, like, there's a lot of things, like, she wouldn't win in a fist fight. So she's not, like, physically strong necessarily, but I think she's mentally and emotionally strong, and I really love that about her. And so these 5, Gansey, Blue, Noah, Adam, and Ronan, I would love to be part of their friendship. I think it's awesome, and I cannot wait to read the last 2 books in the series, one of which I'm just waiting to get in from the library, and the other of which is supposed to be published at the end of this year, so I'm pretty excited. My one honorable mention are Betsy, Tacy, and Tib from the Betsy Tacy books series. I didn't want to talk about them in my top 5 because I literally just talked about the series last week, but it's, my little sister reminded me, and this is totally true, when I was a kid, my friends and I used to pretend to be Betsy, Tacy, and Tib, so I would absolutely want to be one of their friends. So those are my top 5 friend groups I would like to be part of. What are your top 5 friend groups you'd like to be part of? And did you struggle with this as much as I did in answering it and trying to find 5 out of the books that you've read that you really want to be part of? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye! Top 5 books that take place in your region.